G'day everyone, B Asian Day here. We've got another special one today. Intel has sent me this black box. Don't worry, I've got a good idea what's inside this black box. It's actually the new Intel NUC Elk Bay. So this is a NUC, which stands for Next Unit Computing, and it's pretty much a very small form factor modular computer. Now I have previously done a review for the NUC 9 Pro, and I'll put a link in the description below the review video if you want to check that video out after this, and I was actually very impressed by it, and especially the quality as well too. Now this is the 11th version of it. It's not the Pro version, this is just the normal version, and it uses the U processor there. So I'll explain the different parts of it, but what does come in 3 different components, and the component that I'm really interested in is this compute element itself. So we'll see if I can slowly unbox it and get down to the compute unit anyway. So I don't know what's inside the box. So this is the unboxing and first impression. And I will be creating a review video of this Elk Bay as well when I have spent a bit of time with it anyway. So if you're new to my channel, which is a small channel, welcome it, and let's get on to the unboxing. Of course, I've got my good old trusty knife as always. Let's bring this in. So I'm going to do that slit here. Oh, that slit there. Let's bring that slit as well too. Oh, I better be careful of that. All right, now I'm gonna try and do. There we go. I don't want to try and scratch anything else on the side of it anyway. So let's have a look. Oh, nice. I've got a nice little box here. So it's nice to see that the Australian team has given me a power adapter there. I think in the shipping it's actually gone and just bended it, but I've got some more there because I do have some of these anyway. So I'm going to I'm going to need this thing here. So let's bring this in here. I'm going to try and bring this thing out like this. So ooh, that is cool, isn't it? So let's try and bring this out here. Oh, okay, we need to try and bring this out. Okay, ooh, there we go. Oh, okay, we've just got some rubbish. I'm going to chuck these things away. Excellent. Let's bring that across. All right, so I don't need this. Okay, now let's have a look. That's nice. Intel NUC Element. I definitely like the look of this box here. Now, is it going to be like an apple? Oh, look at that. How nice is that? That is cool. Oh, just to feel that it's all cardboard. It's actually really good quality cardboard as well too. So anyway, I'm going to chuck it over here. We'll leave it down here just so you can see what it looks like. Actually, I'll chuck it over here. All right, now. Ooh, here we go. So we got the unit itself. Now this is what we're after. So this is the NUC. You see, it's actually a very small unit. Now I don't know what exactly version I've got here because there actually comes in, I said, it comes in 3 different elements. So you've got the compute element, which is the board that actually comes with the processor, RAM, and all the other parts of the motherboard really. And then you've got the board element, which is kind of like your motherboard really, and that actually slides there, so you can actually change the compute unit anytime you want, so you can actually upgrade that part of it, and the element you can pretty much just stick with one there. And then of course you've got the chassis element as well, so that's 3 components, and I'm going to try and see if I can disassemble this into the 3 components so you can see the difference there. So, and then I have a few options for each component, of course, and I'll explain that. So let's see what else is in there. Ooh, okay, let's try and bring this up. Ooh, well, what's that thing? I don't know what that one's for, but it's got a little thing there, which is kind of nice. Now that has a nice picture, and I'm going to show you if I can bring that in so you can see that. It's got a nice little elk down there, and okay, we'll get that one there. Let's see what else is in here. I don't know how to actually unbox this. I'm going to try and open it up. I have absolutely no idea how to open this thing out, so I don't really. No. Oh, actually, I've got an idea. I think this. Here we go. Oh, it's a drawer system there. That's why there was this little tab. I had a feeling as that. It basically opens up like a drawer. How cool is that? That opens it up like a drawer. I wonder if there's anything else underneath because we've got a bit of space here there. So must be just pure nothing inside of it there. So that's a nice little drawer system I like. All right, we've got the power cable, which is cool. And then we've got some screws in here. That's all this stuff here. Now we've got documentation, don't need that. I'll probably read it later, I won't say that. And then we've got this little, I have a feeling this is a mounting board here. So you can actually mount this to a wall or plate. This is a plate for mounting because there's a lot of screws holes here. So let me just bring this out. All right, we don't need that. So I can see this says up. this way here. So I'm thinking it's probably where you actually put this. I can see some screw holes. I can see this on the feet here, the rubber bits. We've got some screws there, and I'm wondering if it comes onto here or something like that. So I've got to read the manual. I do need to read the manual, and I've chucked them away. But I'll get back to that in the review video. So I'm going to leave this over here. And then what do we got here? We've got more documentation. I'm going to leave that in here, okay? That's different. And I'm going to quickly just put this one back to normal again, just so we can compare. And I will leave that around here. Now, of course, I've got the American style power adapter, so that's why Intel has quite nicely given me changeable one. So anyway, that's kind of that. Actually, while we're at it, let's have a look at what power adapter is this. Let's have a look. This is, I'm going to try and see if I can read it out. It's a 90 watt power adapter here. So that's kind of it. It's actually quite small. It's not that big. And of course, it's got a nice little plug here for the barrel style plug. And on the other end, it's just your 3-prong anyway. So that's normal. I'm going to leave that right here. Now, let's get to this unit here. So, and weight-wise, it's quite light. I'm taking a guess it's just probably underneath a kilo or about a kilo. I'm gonna have to check the weight for this as well too here. And I can see on the side here, we've got Kensington lock slot here, and it's got a sort of grill sort of style here, very nice. And then at the front we've got a power button. We've got one of them is a USB 3.2 Gen 2 port, and then we've got a USB 3.2 Gen 1 port. They're both Type A ports, and along the side here is more grill, so there's no ports in the back. At the back here, okay, so there's a few versions of this, and I'm gonna have to find out which version I have got here. So port at the back, so let's have a look at that. We've got the AC port, we've got a HDMI, that's output. We've got one Ethernet RJ45, we've got two USB 3.2 Gen 2 ports there, and then we've got another HDMI port out as well, cool. And then we've got two more USB 3.2 Gen 1 ports, and they are Type A's, and then another LAN port, which is the RJ45. So I now know I've got, this one is one of the rugged versions of the board, and that's how I can tell you that. I'll put a little description of all the other ones that's out there. And then we've got the pass-through HDMI port, and we've got another input HDMI port as well, and we've got audio out and audio in. So I definitely like that. All right, let me see, how am I going to open this up? I'm going to try and just open it up from the bottom, and we'll have a look at this here. So let me go grab a screwdriver. Luckily I've got my toolkit right here. So let me open this thing up. So let's bring this thing out. We just need good old Phillips head. Let's bring this thing out. Whoa, okay, when I unscrew this, interesting, it takes the feet off, or that could be just giving it different heights for the feet. I'm not sure. We're gonna give this a run for its money. Hey, okay, that doesn't really fully out, so it's one of those nice to keep it in. Oh. All right, let's see if I can bring this thing along here. Oh, I wanted to show you the compute unit and the board itself, so just bear with me there. Okay, see if I can, oh, this is how you open it, good stuff. All right, I'm gonna bring this out here, and straight up on the bottom hand, I can see some thermal tape here, which is great. That's just to give it more, be able to release the heat through this chassis, which is great to see. I'm gonna pop this over here. And while we're at it, I'm going to just show you the screws here. So these screws you can't really take off from here, so you won't lose the screws. They are part of, there is a little ledge on each one, so you can't really take that off. So that's kind of neat that you won't be able to lose the screws on that one there, but you do need a screw to take this off. All right, now I can see there's a computer. Okay, so here's the inside of it. I'm hoping you'll be able to see this. Now inside of this, I'm going to try and maybe bring this upside down here. Okay, so here is the board itself, and I can see there's two slots of M.2 for PVMe, NVMe, sorry. So that's two slots there, and we've got screw holes for that, so you can do a full-size NVMe there. And then there is the compute unit itself. So I'm going to try and take that out for you to have a look at, because that is small. That is a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. I'm just going to look for which is the screws I need to undo here. So I see there's one screw here. And I need to undo this part here, which is the Wi-Fi first. So I'm just pulling the Wi-Fi off this unit because the Wi-Fi, it does have Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.1. So they're the two Wi-Fi little antennas area. And I'm going to try and do the black screws here. And here we go. I've just popped it out. Okay, we'll pop that over there. So I've just popped it out. So you're just giving us a little bit of a tug, and you can get this thing out. Now I'm going to try and see if I can use that regular unit. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I've just pulled it towards me, so I pulled it towards the back, and there we go. And so this is it. This is the Elkin Bay Compute Unit Element part. Anyway, so this is all. So this has a processor, RAM. It can go up to 16 gigs of soldered RAM on this board, and of course, like I said, the Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.1 is in here as well. Now the RAM is a dual channel, I know, so this is nice. This is like pretty much like a card, like a business card is about sort of size like that as well too. So that is small. I'm just going to bring a ruler in, and we'll just have a quick measure of this. All right, I've got a rule here, so I'm just going to quickly measure this at how small length of this is. All right, the length of this is, you're looking just about 9.5 centimeters in length. It is really light. I'm gonna have to say it's really light, this unit here. And then you're looking about 6 centimeters in the width itself. And as the depth wise, you're probably looking around about half a centimeter as well too. So that's pretty sweet there. Now this, what makes this really interesting is, of course, you can take the board out as well. It will take me a bit of time to take the board out, but you can take the board out of this, and you can actually, the reason why you would actually you could do something with this is actually integrate into other components. You don't actually have to have this sort of case and this motherboard in this chassis. You can take this compute unit with the board. Now there are a few boards up there, and hopefully I'm going to put them up on the screen so you can see the different boards there. But you can have a few different boards, and you can just basically have the board with the compute unit integrate into a different system or different area. So for example, maybe you put a TV or some of the audio visuals. This is a quite cool thing. You can actually integrate into that particular component there. And these are designed for operating for pretty much sustained operations for 24/7. So that's pretty sweet. Now, these also have, with the processor wise, it is the 11th gen Intel core, and of course you can get the i3, i5, and i7. Now there is a Celeron version as well, which is also Intel, part of the new 11th gen as well. And with this, you can get the V Pro version, and there is on this particular unit. It's not part of a board, it's actually on this particular unit. It does also have TPM, and that is reserved for the models have the V Pro in there, so you can actually manage and encrypt all your stuff. So that's got the security built in for what a business would like. So that's fantastic. So this is probably for a business unit as well. I love it. I'm really loving this unit here. This is really small because I am so used to even just laptops. Even laptops have everything pretty much on this little board. Is pretty amazing because of the amount of computing power. Now I'm going to be interested to see the heat that comes out of this. As you can see, there's no fans on this at all. Actually, no, I stand corrected. There is a fan underneath of this, but that's not really, I don't know if that's going to be needed for it, but it does have a fan for this to cool this particular system down. But to see that this compute unit doesn't actually have a fan or any heat sinks on it. It does, sorry, I stand that corrected again. At the back here is a heat sink. It's got that nice sort of heat there, and I've got thermal tape onto the heat sink component of this, which will then hopefully dry this out here. But I'm expecting this not to really be that crazy hot, considering that we've only got one little contact here, which is like kind of like a processor has that sort of contact as well too. So I'm expecting this should do very well. Now I'm not sure which version of this I've got. Do I know if this is i5 or i7 or i3 version? I'm not sure until I booted it up. So I do need to put this back together again and then boot it up. But I do also like to tell you that there is versions of this which can support up to 3 external monitors. Now there it could, seen from the documentation, it can do 4 monitors, and that's through the display port. Now I don't know if I got the display port on this one here, which I might have, but I really have to look at the chassis there. But that is through this chassis support anyway. So, but what's really cool is, I also would like to mention is the other reason why a NUC is really cool is that fact that you can keep the board element the same pretty much a fair few number of years, and then each year you can just upgrade this compute unit there, and that's about it. So that saves you the cost of all this stuff that's on here, and you just need to upgrade this if you just want faster processing power. And of course, with the RAM wise, it is built into this as well too, so you do need to worry about the RAM, but at least it's all part of it as well too. So I guess it's also a cost factor, but having the RAM built in that you could have saved from the next unit. But I still think it's kind of cool factor that you actually have this that has all the processing, and then you just have the board itself. Now there is a smaller board version. This is the rugged version, so this has a big board here, so I'm sure you can get a smaller board. I did see in the documentation you can get a smaller board there, so very sweet. I'm loving this form factor. I can't believe I'm actually holding a whole entire computer. I know there's Raspberry Pis, but this is a pretty more powerful than a Raspberry Pi, so this is pretty cool to see a compute unit that is going to be like pretty much the size of a business card, really. So that's pretty sweet, I must admit. I will be creating a follow-up video after I spend a bit of time with it. I will be looking at its temperatures as well as fan noise and also the performance of his computer. But I'm already pretty impressed by how small this thing is and how light it is as well too. So that's pretty cool in a way. If you find this video informative or enjoyed it, or even just support my channel, smack that like button like you usually do. And if you haven't done already, subscribe to my channel by hitting the subscribe button on the screen. I do try to upload a new video every week. And just remember, imperfections in life makes it beautiful and interesting. I'll see you next video.